Hurrem Sultan, from slavery to the heart of an empire. One of the most discussed, most loved, and most hated women in Ottoman history. Hurrem Sultan, known in the West as Roxelana and in the East as a schemer, a corrupter, a devil, or a brilliant political mind. Her life is a unique story of ascent, from slavery to the very center of imperial power, from the darkest corridors of the harem to decisions that shaped world politics. This story is not merely the struggle of one woman to survive. It is the story of an age where love intertwined with politics, intelligence turned into power, and fear was written in blood. Although Hurrem Sultan's exact birthplace is unknown, most historians agree that she was born in the early 1500s in the region of Rahatin, within today's borders of Ukraine. Her original name is believed to have been Alexandra or Anastasia. She was the daughter of an Orthodox priest, a modest but respected family. In her youth, her fate had not yet been written. No throne, no palace, no sultan, only her family, her village, and innocent dreams of the future. But the raids along the Ottoman-Polish-Crimean frontier would change her life forever. One day, while still in her teenage years, she was captured by Crimean Tatars. Her village was destroyed, and she was torn from her family. Chained, she was forced on a long journey across thousands of kilometers. That journey led her to Istanbul, to the gates of Topkapi Palace. Alexandra died that day. Hurrem Sultan was born. From the outside, Topkapi Palace looked like a magnificent dream. From within, it was a silent battlefield. The harem was an invisible arena where hundreds of women fought for the same fate. New concubines were educated. Language, etiquette, music, dance, and Islamic discipline. Hurrem quickly stood out. She was intelligent, quick to learn, sharp-tongued, and unusually cheerful. They named her Hurrem. The name was no coincidence. Hurrem meant the joyful one. She was a woman who could still smile within the cold walls of the palace. But behind that smile lay deep fear and an instinct for survival. In the harem, power was earned not through beauty, but through intelligence. Hurrem understood this before anyone else. In 1520, a young sultan ascended the Ottoman throne, Suleiman the Magnificent. Powerful, educated, a poet, and a patron of the arts, yet also the embodiment of absolute authority. The harem was tradition to him. Emotions had no place there, until he saw Hurrem. According to legend, when Hurrem appeared before the sultan, she did not lower her head like the others. She did not remain silent. She spoke, she smiled. This was against palace etiquette. But it was precisely this that captured Suleiman's attention. From that night on, Hurrem became the sultan's favorite. And from that moment, she became a target. There was already a star in the harem, Mahidevran Sultan, mother of Prince Mustafa, the long-standing favorite of the sultan, the established power of the palace. Hurrem was a newcomer. The struggle between the two women was not merely personal. It was the beginning of a battle for the throne. Mahidevran's son, Mustafa, was widely seen as the future sultan. Every child Hurrem bore was a threat to that future, and Hurrem bore children. Mehmed, Mihrima, Selim, Bayezid, Cihangir. Each birth shook the balance of the palace. For centuries, there was an unbroken rule in the Ottoman palace. Sultans did not marry. Mothers were concubines, so no woman could claim legitimate political authority. Hurrem Sultan shattered this tradition. Suleiman married Hurrem. The news shocked not only the palace, but the entire Islamic world and the courts of Europe. Hurrem was no longer merely a favorite. She was the Sultan's lawful wife. Mahidevran fell from grace, and Prince Mustafa felt true danger for the first time. Hurrem Sultan had entered not only the palace, but the state itself. While Suleiman was on campaign, she wrote him letters. These were not merely expressions of love. They contained subtle messages about diplomacy, internal politics, and palace balance. Hurrem played an active role in relations with the Kingdom of Poland, shaping policy in favor of the Ottomans through her native lands. She was no longer just a wife. She was a partner in rule. Hurrem Sultan did not wield power alone. One of her most decisive moves was marrying her daughter, Mahidevran Sultan, to Rustam Pasha. Rustam Pasha was intelligent, cold-blooded, and ruthless. When he rose to the position of Grand Vizier, he became the invisible hand of the palace. For Prince Mustafa, the circle was tightening. Prince Mustafa was loved by the people and supported by the army. Whispers of suspicion reached Suleiman's ears. Hurrem Sultan and Rustam Pasha knew that if Mustafa ascended the throne, their own children would be executed. Ottoman tradition was merciless. Brothers died for the throne. The year was 1553. Suleiman was on the Nakhchivan campaign. Prince Mustafa was summoned to his father's tent. He entered. He never emerged. The executioners worked in silence. Mustafa's death tore a deep wound into Ottoman history. The army wept. The people stood on the brink of revolt. Hurrem Sultan had crossed the point of no return. After Prince Mustafa's death, Hurrem Sultan's health deteriorated. The palace no longer felt safe. Every whisper sounded like a curse, every glance like an accusation. The price of years of struggle was paid in loneliness. In 1558, Hurrem Sultan passed away. Suleiman buried her in a mausoleum built by Mimar Sinan. She arrived as a slave. She died as an empress. Hurrem Sultan died. But the path she opened ushered in the Sultanate of women. Her shadow did not fade from the palace walls for centuries. She remains one of the most powerful women in history.